Okay, folks, we're going to do Word Chapter 3, Mid-Level 1. This one's all about football stuff. So I've got my document open. I've got my instructions in front of me here, and you should too. So the first thing we're going to do is convert this mass of text that's all tabbed over using the tabs on the ruler into a table. So what it says is select the text in the document from the number sign, so that would be over here, all the way down to the 13.4. Okay, and now that I've done that, it says include the paragraph mark, which I did in the bottom corner. Now we are going to convert the text to a table. So to do that, we go to the Insert tab, and you'll see Table here near the left. And we'll click on that, and we get an option here that says Convert Text to Table. So I'll click on that. And it says here, accept all the default settings, so I won't change anything in the window that popped up, and I'll hit OK. And now I have all that stuff turned into a table. And the last thing we need to do is change the orientation of our document to a landscape. So to do that, we go to the Layout tab, Orientation, second from the left, and choose landscape. All right, so that looks a little bit better now. So we are done step 2. Step 3, we're going to change some fonts. Nothing crazy, it's just the title stuff here. And actually, while I do this, I'm going to make my page a little bit bigger for you folks so you can see what's going on. That should be a bit better. So I need to update the font of our title here. So where it says Midwest Athletic Conference and Season Statistics, change it to Cambria 16 points. So to do that, we go to the Home tab, the font drop down, find Cambria. So mine's in recently used. You might have to scroll down the list to find it. And then we want 16 points, so I'll type 16 here and hit enter. Next thing we want to do is delete the first column of the table. Okay, so we're going to start working within our table here. So if you click and drag down the column we want to get rid of, which is column 1, and we go, so you'll see if you're working in your table, this table tools area will show up. And you've got design and layout there. So we want to go to the Layout tab. And we want to get rid of this column, so we'll hit the delete button here and delete columns. It'll go away. Gone. Okay. The next thing we want to do is change the font of everything in our table. So the easy way to select everything in the table is to click on this little plus sign in the corner. It'll highlight everything. It's a little bit faster than dragging across the entire thing. And we're changing this to Cambria 10. So back on the Home tab, Cambria and 10 point font. Okay, that's step 3. The next thing we're going to do with our table is auto fit the contents so everything looks nice. So I'm going to highlight my entire table using that plus. Go to the Layout tab under Table Tools, and you'll see Auto Fit kind of near the middle. And we want to choose Auto Fit Content, so the table will fit based on what's inside of each cell. You can also choose Auto Fit Window and other things that'll kind of spread it out over the entire document, but we want this one for now. So we'll see that it kind of shrunk up a little bit. So that is good. Now we need to make sure that no team names are bold. So this is the team heading and then all the names down here. It looks like we've got 6 or 7 here that are bolded. So I'm just going to highlight that area. So just not including team because we want that to stay bolded. And if I go to the Home tab, I can click on bold and italic, So bold will make everything bold. If I click it again, it'll go away. Underline will make everything underlined, but if I click it again, it'll go away. So now we have our step 4 complete. Step 5, insert a row above row 1 in the table. Okay, so to do that, so there's we can highlight the existing top row, go to the Table Tools layout area, and choose Insert Above. So I'll do that. Now we have a new row on top. Now we have to do some typing here. So first step is type offensive statistics in the first cell. And then in the next cell, we have to write rushing statistics. So what we want to do now is so this is a title that applies to more than one column. So we're going to merge these cells so the title goes all the way across the top for that area. So we have to merge the second, so that's through 6 cells. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think that's right. Second through 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we will now merge that area together. So in your Table Tools layout area, you can hit Merge Cells, and you can do that. And then we also want to center that title. And you have a little alignment area here in the Table Tools layout area. And so you've got all your left aligns, center, right. And then as you go down the rows, it's like this is left top, left middle, left bottom. We'll just do top middle here. And so that is nicely in the middle now. We are done step 5. Step 6 is to do passing statistics into the next cell in our title row. And I've done that. And we need to do that and the next 3. And we will merge that just like we did last time. So Table Tools Layout Merge. And we will also center that. And then the last part we have to do here is title the last few columns, and that is supposed to be called total, and then merge that over the last area and put it in the center. Okay, so now our title row looks amazing. And that's it for step 6. Step 7, we're going to insert new data into our table. So we have to insert a row in between Harkinsville and Dakota State. So let me find that. So here's Harkinsville and here's Dakota State. We need a row in between. So I'll show you another way to do this. If you hover your mouse over the side, you'll see this kind of plus popping up in between my rows. And if I click the plus there when it's going between where I want to add my row, I can add new row wherever I want. So there we go. So I've got my row where I want. I will pause while I fill this in because you do not need to watch me type, but we have to fill in data on that row based on what's in step 7. So I will be right back. Okay, so I've typed in all my stuff for James College here, and I'll show you a trick that I use. So as I'm typing, I don't want to type in a number, find my mouse, click in the next one, type, find my mouse, click. If I hit tab, it automatically bumps me to the next cell across. So I can type, hit tab, boop, boop. And when you get to the end, if you hit tab, it moves down to the next row and starts going across there. So that will make your life easier in the future when you have to fill out tables. And this also works when we get into Excel, and it's also very, very useful. So now that we've added our James College info, we are done step 7. So next thing we need to do is step 8, where it says select a table style of grid table 5 dark accent 2. All right, so I'm going to click in my table, make sure my table tools is showing, and go to the Design tab now for under Table Tools. And you'll see Table Styles here. And let's hit that down arrow with the bar on top to get all the options. And we are looking for a grid table, dark accent 2, I believe. It's this one here. So it's the, under grid tables, it's 4th row, 3rd column. So I'm going to click that. And now our table looks a lot better than it did when we started. Okay. Next thing we need to do is do some borders. So while the instruction says set your pen color first, so we're now in Table Tools Design and we're in this border area. I do it a little bit of a different way because I find that when I change my border style, my pen color resets. So I'm going to pick my border style first. So we need a style which is just a single line, which is good. So I have that selected under Border Styles, top corner. It says we need to do a 1/2 point line width. So that's here. Mine's already set like that, but you can choose a bunch of different line widths. And then finally, I'm going to choose my pen color last. So I'm going to click on pen color. And we need orange accent to darker 50%. So I believe that is the last one here in the orange column. Set that, and you'll see this border painter button has now been activated per se, and that allows us to draw borders wherever we want. So we can do this to all outside borders. So I can draw it like this all the way around, or I can do a shortcut where if I use the down arrow where it says borders here, we need to do a border on the outside only of the entire table. So if I go down here, I can choose outside borders. So there's other ways you can do inside borders, no border, all borders. So every single cell has the same thing. We just want outside, so I'm going to click that now. And it doesn't seem to have worked properly. Let's try it again. Oh, so I have to select my entire table first and then click the outside borders. And there we go. Now I have my border. It's hard to see, but that's because it's a 1/2 point font, or 1/2 point width, which is pretty small. If you zoom in, you'll be able to see it a little bit more clearly. So that has us done step 8. Step 9, so it says ensure that the pen color is orange accent to darker 50%, which is still set from before. Line weight 1/2, clicks the line style and select the first double line style. Okay, so I'm going to go to the line style and choose the double line style here. So when I do that, it resets my color. So I just have to go find my darker 50% orange that I had before. And now my brush is activated so I can draw the borders. And I need to do a border along the horizontal line separating row 1 from 2. Okay, so that's in between here. As I click and drag, it's showing me in kind of a dark line where my border is going to go. As soon as I let go, I've got my line. It looks like it didn't go this last one, so I'll paint there. And now it's there. Okay, so I am now done the first part here. So the next thing we need to do is do it also along the vertical line separating the first column from the second, but don't do it to row 1. So that means do it from teams all the way down here. Okay, there we go. So now we're done. Step 9, flip the page. All right, so the next thing we have to do in step 10, the thing you want to do if your border painter thing is still on, you can either hit the escape button on your keyboard, or you can click the border painter button here to turn it off. And now you're back in normal mode. I'm going to change my zoom here quickly to a little bit smaller because I need to insert another table. So we're going to the end of the document, pressing enter twice, and we are going to insert a 3x5 table. So to make your own table, go to the insert area and you'll see table near the left, and we'll go down, and here you kind of just drag and highlight based on what size you want. So if we want a 3x5, I want 3 columns, 5 rows. You can see at the top it tells you what size you are building. So that's, and then when you have what you want, you click and your table is now in your document. So next thing you have to do is just start inserting all the information. So we've got Calvin Spraggins. I'm hitting tab to go across, SPR, and 1428. All right, I will fill this out while you guys do this and then be back in a second. Okay, I finished filling out my info, so that has me done step 10. Step 11, we're going to modify our table. So we are going to change the column width of all columns in the new table to 1.5 inches. Okay, so I'm going to click to highlight my whole table. And if I go to the Table Tools Layout area, you'll see properties near the left here. And this is where you can change row heights, column widths, all sorts of stuff. So I'm going to click in here. And I've got a bunch of tabs at the top, and I care about column width, so I'm going to go to the column tab, and I want a width of 1.5. All right, so now I have shrank up my table a bunch, which is good, that's what I wanted. And then I also want to apply center alignment to all entries in the last 2 columns. All right, so I'm going to highlight the last 2 columns. Again, Table Tools Layout, and I want center, so I'm going to pick the top row middle option. Now it looks how I want. We're done step 11. Step 12, insert a new blank row at the top of the table. Okay, well, I know how to do that. Highlight my top row, Layout tab, insert above. And then I need to type receiving yards there. Change the font size to 14. Okay, I can do that on the Home tab. That's 14. And then merge all the cells in row 1. Okay, so that's in my Table Tools Layout area. Merge. And in this case, it automatically centered for me already, which is nice. So we are done. Step 12. Step 13, shade the first row of the second table with orange accent to lighter 60%. Okay, so highlight the content in our first row, and we need to start working in the Table Tools Design area. And we have shading here, sort of more to the right-hand side. If I hit that drop down, I can choose the color that I want. So I want orange accent to lighter 60%, which I think is this one. Yep, so I'll click that. Now we have our proper color that we wanted. Step 13, done. Now we have to, for step 14, add a new blank row at the end of the second table. Okay, so I'm going to highlight the existing last row, go to the Table Tools Layout area, and choose Insert Below. There we go. Now I need to type the word average into the first cell. Okay, very nice. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to enter a formula into this table to calculate the average receiving yards of all these people. So I'm going to click in the cell bottom of the column with all the numbers in it. And I'm going to go to Table Tools, Layout, and formula right here. So we're going to insert a formula. Now this is a bit of a preview from for Excel, where we're going to be using a lot of formulas. So the formula that we want, every formula has to start with an equals, and we don't want sum. We're trying to do an average here. So if you have your equals in there and write average, all caps works well. And then open parentheses, which is Shift 9 on your keyboard. Now we have to tell the formula which numbers or which cells in our table we want to average. So we want to average just from the 1428 to the 1114. We don't want to do this title row, and obviously we don't want to average ourselves because that'll screw up the formula. So we have to pretend that each column is labeled A, B, C, and each row is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we want to do third column, second row, so that would be C2 to represent this guy. Then you put in a colon, so the 2 dots, and we want it to do everything between this one and the 11114, which is still column C, right? A, B, C, but now we're down a bunch. So this was C2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're doing C6, close parentheses, which is Shift 0, and we will hit OK. Boom. Our Word document actually calculated something for us, which is something that most people don't know. So this is really useful if you're using a template, okay? So it says we don't need to choose a number format. We didn't as we did that, so we're good. Step 14 is done. The next thing we want to do is in step 15, align both tables horizontally in the center of the page. Okay, so because I'm already near the second one, I'm going to highlight the second one, go to the Home tab, because this alignment deals with inside your cells. This Home tab alignment deals with the whole thing. I'm going to choose center. Okay. Notice that all my names here are still left aligned within their cell, but the entire table is moved to the center. And I'm going to do the same process again with the big table, centered. Okay. The next thing it wants us to do is check for spelling and grammatical errors. And it's telling us also to assume that all names in both tables are correct. So review, spelling and grammar, as you've done before. We know that the names are good, so I'm going to ignore all. Spraggins I know is not wrong. McAnally is also not wrong. Ignore all. And those are the only issues that were found. So I'm going to hit OK. We're done with step 15. Step 16. We're going to change the receiving yards for Calvin Spraggins to 1451. Okay, so Calvin Spraggins is the top one. 1451, so I'm going to change that. And you'll notice that our average did not change, although it should have because we changed one of the numbers. So what you do is you right-click on your average and choose Update Field. If you're on a Mac and you don't have a left click on your mouse, hold down Control on your keyboard and then click. Okay, so right-click, Update Field, and look at that. The average is now updated based on the new number that we have. Okay? So that is step 16 done. Next, we're going to click in any cell in the first table. Okay, well, this one will work. Click the Table Tools Design tab. Okay. Click Border Painter in the Borders group. Okay, that's over here on the right. And what you can do now is we're going to click the double line border that divides the first and second rows of the first table to sample it. So what that does, kind of like Format Painter that we used from the home group, I think in Word 1 or 2 I showed you guys that. We can pick up a border. So I'm going to click on the border here. Okay. And so now wherever I click now in a table is going to start painting that border that I just selected. So we want to drag to apply the sampled border to the border dividing the first and second rows in the second table. Okay, well, let's go down there. And we're going to put it along here. Let go. Okay, didn't seem to do it for the second two, but the second try it worked. When you're done, you can hit Escape or click Border Painter to exit out of that function. And we are done step 17. Next one. We're going to add some captions to our tables. So in step 18, if you want to add a caption, let's do it for table 1. I'll just click in there for now. You need to go to the References area, and you'll see Insert Caption near the middle. Okay, so click on that, and we get to start doing our caption. So our caption is supposed to say Figure 1. Right now it says Table. Well, under Label, you can change that. So we're going to change Table to Figure. Now it's updated for me. And it's supposed to be called Midwest Athletic Conference Offensive Statistics. So I'm going to put my colon in and start writing Midwest. Oh, don't need a capital there. Midwest Athletic Conference Offensive Statistics. You got to trust your typing here because you can't see it. It goes off the page, but if you scroll, I thought it, or use your arrow keys, you can scroll to the end there. All right. Okay, so that's all we need to do for this. So we can hit OK. And now we have a caption under our table here. Now we have to do the same thing for the next table. So click in the table, References tab, Insert Caption. We need to call this one, so add the colon, average receiving yards. Hit OK. Now we have our caption. So what we need to do now is modify those captions so that they look a little bit different. Well, let's do it the easy way. So if I click on that and then go to the Home tab, and in the Styles area, hit the down arrow with the bar on top, I will see that that style is a caption style. I can right-click on that and modify it. And this will modify everything in my document set as a caption, which is the Figure 1, Figure 2 that I've already done. So let's go in there. And this is just like modifying styles that we've done before. So we need to make it a font color of orange, accent to darker 50%. So in the drop down, we can do that. I think it's the last one in the column. It is. We want it to be bold and not italicized. Okay, done. And then centered horizontally. So that's the alignment button there. We'll hit OK when we're done. And now both of our captions have now been updated for the style we wanted. Fantastic. Step 18. All right, we're going deep, folks. We're going into mail merge. So this is where you can kind of, if you have a whole bunch of letters you want to write to people and you want to have dear or whatever their name is, or have the address change and just do one click and it fills out 20 letters, you can do that with mail merge. So we're going to begin the mail merge procedure, and we start that with the mailing tab at the top. And we're going to hit Start Mail Merge here and Letters. So we'll click on that. All right, so now we have some stuff's blacked out, but we're going through the process. So the first thing we have to do is we need to select the recipients. So inside, well, first we'll click on select recipients and use existing list. So the exercise files included an Excel document called universities, and that's what we're going to use. So I'm going to use existing list, and now I have to go find where I saved that. So I saved that in my files, on my computer over here. You'll see universities, and I'll hit open. And we want to use sheet 1, that's right. So sometimes your Excel book might have multiple sheets. You have to pick the one that you want. So I'm going to hit OK. And now we have our recipients built in. So what we want to do now is it's asking us to modify our recipients list. So to do that, we're going to edit recipient list, and you'll see that we have all the info of these recipients here in this window. So first thing it wants us to do is sort the data source by university in ascending order. Okay, well, if you look down here, you can see sort, so we'll do that. And this is also going to be useful skills in Excel. We'll use them again. So we want to sort. So if we click the drop down, it lets us choose what we want to sort by. And we want to sort by university. So that's the bottom one. In ascending order, just select it. We'll hit OK. And then it asks us to filter to limit to state of North Carolina or NC. So we have to hit the filter button. We're going to filter by state. It needs to be equal to NC. Hit OK. Now look, now all we're left with is NC in there, so we know that we did it right. Okay. We're done in here, so we'll hit OK. And what we want to do is insert a merge field. So we want where it says draft prepared for, so I'm going to click there after the space. We want to insert the merge field so the university name will show up here. When we blast out these letters, it updates for the university for each person we're sending it to. So we're going to hit this insert merge field down arrow here and choose university. And you'll see it's got kind of these little arrows in each side and says university. That's what you want to see. All right. So we're done that part. Next thing is we need to preview the results and complete the mail merge. So we'll see what it looks like. So to preview results, we'll hit the preview results button. And with that active, you'll see, okay, look, Charge University is there. And if I scroll through using these arrows, Chase College is the other one. So that is, it's going to produce documents that have those as the title. So it's going to do two separate ones. So we're done previewing. We're going to complete the merge. So we're going to hit this Finish and Merge button. And it tells us to do the Edit Individual Documents option. Do that. We're going to do All Records. Hit OK. Now a new Word document has popped up. And if I scroll down, okay, we've got draft prepared for Charge University, draft prepared for Chase College. And if you were going to send these out, you would print it, fold them up, stick them in the mail. Okay, and each one has the proper name at the top. All right, that was a long step. Step 19 is now done. All right. So what they want us to do now is highlight all the text highlight and copy all the text in this letters 1 document that's showed up. Quick way to highlight everything is hit Control A on your keyboard. If you want to copy, hit Control C on your keyboard. Okay. And it says, go to the original document. Okay, well, let's go find my original document. Okay. It doesn't look, oh, here it is. I'm going to turn off my preview results because I don't need that anymore. And at the end of the document, I need to insert a page break. So insert page break, and then paste in Control V, paste in my stuff. So I have my new Chase College and the Charge University are in there. All right, that's 20. And then the last step is just save and close. We are done.